I've had to redo this video because the audio in the original version was messed up. So anyway, Murat Gassiev defeats his mandatory challenger Krzysztof Wlodarczyk with a left hook to the body in the third round to retain his IBF World Cruiserweight title and advance to the semi-finals of the World Boxing Super Series tournament. He will face Wlodarczyk in the next round. That's going to be one hell of a fight, but I'll get into that a little bit later on in the video. First of all, Gassiev's performance. From the opening bell, Wlodarczyk was on the back foot, looking to try and stick a move. Similar tactics to what Denis Lebedev tried against Murat Gassiev, and that didn't work out too well for Lebedev. I guess Wlodarczyk felt like there was no other way to go about it. Maybe he felt like he was a bit slicker on the back foot than Denis Lebedev. So he was moving around. Gassiev was stalking. Gassiev didn't waste many punches, and that's typical of him. He likes to make his punches count. He is a student of Abel Sanchez, and to some degree, they have to be modeling Gassiev's technique on Gennady Golovkin because he is the flagship fighter of Abel Sanchez and that Big Bear training facility, which they call the Summit. So they're modeling a lot of Gassiev's technique on Golovkin. That's their aim anyway. That's their goal, to try and get close to Golovkin's technique. Very few fighters get close to Golovkin in terms of his ability to cut off the ring and all that kind of stuff. His technique is excellent when it comes to front foot pressure fighting. But I did see Gassiev improve in certain areas, like his ability to cut off the ring. He's not quite there yet. He still has some improvement. And again, he may not ever get, like very few fighters ever get to Golovkin's level in terms of cutting the ring off. But that's the goal. That's the aim. It has to be, as he's a fellow Abel Sanchez fighter. So I saw improvements. I saw some subtle head movement maybe early in the fight. Definitely improvements for Gassiev. He's a very big, strong guy. He's physically intimidating. He picks his shots well. His shot selection is good. Once he gets you into position, he knows which punches to throw and when. And he lands, obviously, with tremendous power. So the first 2.5 rounds, it was just Gassiev stalking Wlodarczyk and not really much was going on. Gassiev landed a few nice shots here and there, but he was really biding his time and just applying the pressure and waiting for his opportunity to land the perfect shot. I thought he did hurt Wlodarczyk with a left hook to the body in the second round, I think it was. But Wlodarczyk did a good job of disguising it. But then in the third round, he had him up against the ropes again and landed the same shot, this time with more power on it. And down went Wlodarczyk, and that's all she wrote. He didn't get up. So an excellent performance by Murat Gassiev. Wlodarczyk had never been stopped before. So you have to really praise him for that. And we'll see what happens when he fights Wlodarczyk. Wlodarczyk is coming off a great win against Krzysztof, who he might equal or better Gassiev in terms of punching power. But Gassiev appears to be sturdier around the whiskers and seems to have better stamina. And to be honest with you, better movement than Krzysztof, who's really a bit of a robot, despite the fact he's very strong. But it's going to be a similar kind of equation that Wlodarczyk has to solve against Gassiev. Wlodarczyk, for me, is the slicker fighter, the quicker fighter, the smoother operator than Gassiev. I think Gassiev is the physically stronger, probably hits harder, certainly the bigger guy, he looks like. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be, in my view, a more difficult fight than the Krzysztof fight was. A hell of a lot more difficult for Wlodarczyk than that, but a similar kind of style, a similar kind of puzzle to solve. Who's going to win that fight? You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. What's the fight going to look like? Is Wlodarczyk going to attempt to move, or is he going to try and meet fire with fire and exploit some of Gassiev's technical shortcomings? Because I mentioned this in previous videos. Unlike most Eastern European world champions, Murat Gassiev had very limited amateur experience. I think he only had 20-something amateur fights, which is very, very few for an Eastern European world champion. Most of them have had hundreds of amateur fights. And you do see that in his technique. He is still a little bit raw, but the talent that he has is clearly evident for all to see. The fact that he is world champion, the fact that he did beat Denis Lebedev and did it in good fashion. He's beat now Wlodarczyk, his mandatory challenger. He's got punching power, good shot selection. He's patient. He's strong. He's physically imposing. He keeps the pressure on you. Again, still some technical deficiencies there, particularly with his footwork, but he's improving. How will he do against Dorticus? You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below about his performance against Wlodarczyk. Did you expect the fight to go longer? Or did you expect this kind of early blowout? Were Wlodarczyk's tactics right and he was just not good enough at executing them? Or do you have to employ different kind of tactics if you're going to beat Murat Gassiev? This is the second guy now who's tried to box Gassiev on the back foot and have done so unsuccessfully. It don't mean that it can't be done, but certainly those guys weren't up to the task. Can anybody else do it? Or are you going to have to meet fire with fire and try and take Gassiev into the trenches and win that way? Will Dorticus employ those tactics? Lots to discuss here, people. So let's get the discussion going in the comment section below. I'll be very interested to read what you guys have to say. All right, it's happening. I'm out.